Hey guys, just making sure we're all good here. It says we are streaming on everything. Streaming to a few more platforms this time, so just making sure we are all good. Can you guys hear me testing? We should be good. Okay, hold on, just making sure. Okay. You guys can hear me and everything? For some reason I can't see if we're good on Instagram. I think we should be good on everything else though. Okay, well I think we are live. We're gonna get started here in a second. Okay. Well, I think for some reason I'm not seeing the live Instagram. Hold on. Okay. Okay, hold on. We are good, I think. Yep. Okay. Um, what's up, George? Okay, so let me just set up here. Not sure where to put. It's like a million different chats. Hold on. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so welcome. So my name is Andrew Kierszenbaum. I'm a composer and pianist. I was a composer for Arcane on Netflix. I just got back from Pittsburgh where we played the world premiere of the music of Arcane, a super special concert where I performed and presented the music of Arcane. It was unbelievable, super fun. My first time in Pittsburgh. But now we're back, and one thing we've been doing on stream is we have been looking at old sheet music of mine and updating it to post on my website. I have a lot of piano pieces. A lot of people ask me, do you have piano pieces? Do you have pieces I can learn? And I do, but they're not like updated. So part of what I want to do together is polish and perfect these pieces that I am really passionate about, that I love, and make them look super good, and then post on my website. Something like this. So here. So something, I think you guys can see my screen. So something like this. Here's my website. Go to sheet music, and then I have like my scores available here. Piano for now. There's one harp piece, but yeah, these are something that I really enjoy doing, and so I want to post the rest of my piano pieces I have. Also, in case you missed it, I put out a new pop song called "After We're Done" on all streaming platforms. You can check it out. It's just under 3 minutes, and it's pretty special. It very piano based, like a lot of my music. There's this like piano riff that goes kind of like this. So it's a little piano piece disguised as a pop song. Um, but yeah, so go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, so the goal is to put these piano pieces onto my website on the sheet music tab here. Okay, so let's get back to, so we're working on a piece called Nocturne right here. Okay. And if there's any like audio problems or whatever, guys, let me know if you can't hear something. I think you can hear the piano though, right? Nice. Okay. So what did we do last time? Last time we got all the way up to, we got through, I think we finished page 4. So all 4 of these pages, the first pages, are to me in a good spot. Yeah, we have this big ending, this big, transition into our B section of the piece. Yeah, if this is your first time seeing this and you're like, what is going on? This is a piece called Nocturne. Your fave, what's up? Hey, what's up? Of course I answer questions. Do I answer questions? Of course. So this is a piece called Nocturne, which is, it's 12:30 where I am, 12:30 in the morning where I am. So perfect to do at night. But I wrote this a couple years ago, and it's this kind of, to me, nighttime piece, but it has this main theme that kind of goes like this. So this is from right here. And it kind of goes into this other section. How long have I been playing for? I've been playing since I was 4 years old. So long time. Very long time. But yeah, I love piano. Anyways, so that I just played you up to here, up to this Poco Pumoso. So yeah. And the goal is we want to polish this, make it look good, and post it on my website. It looks pretty good for now. It looks kind of messy here because there's all these numbers, but this is what it'll actually look like. So, the goal is for it to look very clean, approachable. I think we did a pretty good job at that. I'm just like second guessing. I think, yeah. And the process of, what we're doing here is called engraving. So it's making because it's one thing composing a piece. I compose this piece, and it's another thing making it look nice and look presentable. We're trying to do both here. I've had this piece for many years, kind of in a spot that I'm not super excited about, and there's some mistakes and stuff. Not mistakes, but just it doesn't look pretty. And so now I want to finally take the time and get it looking nice. Okay, so getting back to it. So we finished 3 and 4 last stream. Just want to double check some things here. Okay. I believe we also finished 4. It would be nice to kind of make these measures bigger. Let's see. See if we can. I'm going back manually because oh, okay. Okay, so basically here, it'd be nice to make these measures, these two here that seem kind of cramped, a little wider, take up more space. So, yeah, which is it's not wanting to do it. I think we can add a spacer manually. No, that's not what we want. What we want is to make this is to just increase the space here, because it's fine, but if I'm reading this as a pianist, the other thing is if I go quiet, I'm trying to think of, I'll see different things that I might want to change. Like here, I'm looking at this left hand. So here we're in 6/8, meaning there's 6 beats per measure, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the left hand is 2 groups of 4. This is what's called a polyrhythm. So the left hand plays this kind of thing in 4 here, right? And meanwhile, the right hand's playing. You get this kind of unstable kind of to me kind of spooky, but yeah. So from here you have and anyways, yeah, we showed the 4 for the first 2, and then we leave it absent because the pianist gets the idea. This left hand is going to be in 4, 2 groups of 4. We show it again here because just there's a rest, so to make it clear that this is still groups of 4, we show the 4, 4. But yeah, the only thing is this right here is not in 4. And it's a bit unclear, and I'm not sure. I feel like this might be confusing to people because they see this and they're like, we're coming from a group of 4, and then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I guess it does make sense, right? Here's our first group. We're 9/8, so there's 3 groups of 3. So 1, which is in group of 4, our second group of 3, and this is a dotted quarter note representing also a group of 3/8 notes. Sorry, I'm just noticing this might be a little confusing, but what else? Okay, here we might want to show again that we're back in. We don't have to. The thing is, so part of the goal here is also to make it very clear what's happening, and so putting the 4 here, not necessary, but it'll help pianists remember, oh yeah, we're not this this is why there's 4 notes per grouping and not the expected 6/8 notes. So, but I think we can leave it at. I think they get the point. You know, here we go. 4. We're back to, right? Back to 3/8 notes per grouping. And then here we go back to 4. Okay, anyways, the only thing I'm looking at this page that we could possibly change is this. These two measures here are a bit cramped. I really don't know what we can do other than we could force this to go back. What can we do? It's still cramped at the end. I'm not sure why. We decrease the layout stretch here, maybe? Okay. See, this is good. This is good. Let's force these together again, how we had it before. Okay, so see, much better. Much better. So now these aren't bunched up and, right? Your average. Big fan of Funeral from Arcane. Thank you so much. Funeral's very special to me. That was such a, I still like play it a lot, and it's so cool that it's at the end of Arcane, and I don't know. It's a special one, so thank you. All right, this is great. So once again, this was very like, condensed, not looking good. And so part of our job tonight as engravers is we want to make the page look clean and friendly and playable. So part of that is not making the notes look scrunched up, is expanding, giving things room. So that's what we want to do. And then now, so see, we expanded these two measures, and now there's these lines are all over the place. We can put it, we can put it out like this, right? But it's just sloppy. And so I want to make everything look really nice. So I get really detail oriented like a freak, and I go in and edit these manually and make sure they're not too close, they're not overlapping, right? No, not colliding, something like that. Great. So a little better. And these lines, just by the way, are to show that that's the melody. So the melody goes da 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 da. Right. Cool. I think that should be. Just want to make sure before we move on. It's so tricky where to put these because it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. I really believe that people notice this stuff, even if it's not. I don't know. I think if you're a pianist, you might know what I'm talking about, but you notice when stuff is doesn't look super clean. I think that's the cleanest we're gonna get. I mean, here we could come closer there. Do something like this. I don't know. It's still bothering me a little bit. Like, probably the best we're going to get out of this. Yeah, I think this is pretty clear. So once again, so it's all clear now. Okay, and then now we're going to have a page break here. We're going to put in a page break. And now this page is done. So one thing I've been doing is we move on from a page once we're done. You know, try not to go back. Okay, so now we're on page 5. We have more of the same pattern. To give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with here, this section is very, so it's the B section of our Nocturne. So the piece is called a Nocturne. It's supposed to be this kind of relaxing nighttime piece, right? And the middle section is the complete opposite. Well, the middle section is a different vibe. It's more frenetic, more, you know, suspenseful. So the first theme, you know, we played, it goes like this. Right, and with this middle section playing from right here, right here. Can you guys see my, hold on. Okay, you guys can see my screen, cool. Okay, so playing from right here. So yeah, so that's the section we're working on now. Cool. So I like that this is already set up with, I'm gonna get rid of all this, get rid of all these. What these are doing is they're pushing the measures together. Curious what it will do. So here I'd like to have 4. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay. We want to get the right amount of measures per page, per system, you know, and get that kind of set before we kind of work on the page. So one thing I want to do is here. So in these couple measures, we have this kind of melody at the top. But the melody isn't just this one note. Right, it's actually, so I think we need to do a better job at identifying that. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know how I'm going to notate this. Maybe something like this. Yeah. So it's not, you know, it's not an exact science, but something like this, I think, does a better job at showing that it's good. Da, 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 right? When we play it, right, if before it was just these top notes, right, and we want, you guys notice the difference? So that's what we want to do. So I'm just going to do that here. It's just these are all important because this is how the performer is going to interpret the piece. And if I write it a different way, it'll lead to a different kind of performance. So yeah, I think this is closer to the way I play it, is to have these two notes here. We're just going to copy this the whole way. All right, we should hear. Something like that. Okay. Cool. Do the same thing for these. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I slurred the whole phrase, which I think actually is a better move here. So instead of slurring each individual, down here we had dun 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 dun, which I think might give it a rocking horse feel. You know what I mean? We don't want it to sound. We want it to be one sweeping motion, right? We want it to go. It's very tricky because, like, on the one hand, you do want it to sound like. But I don't want the pianist the performer to get caught up in the, right? It should. Right? They want it to be one motion across both measures. The other thing we could do here is get rid of this second voice. Actually, a really good point. And just have it be, like, get rid of these second voices that are implying dun 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 dun. I think it's overwriting. Interesting. What would it look like? Sorry, guys, I'm just thinking about how. Get rid of that, make it not visible. So same thing here. So we're getting rid of these top notes with the stems going up. Make that invisible. Okay, now we would connect it like this. I don't know that looks very nice. Get rid of the slur that goes across all of it. Yeah, I think that this is good because the thumb does carry the melody here. right? You do want to hear the. But then by this point, we do want to hear the tops more. Here it's still thumbs. I guess it's still sort of thumbs. But then now it's about what to do with this next part. Right, so the odd tempo here, when it comes back to. Yeah, it's tricky because it's definitely the melody here is in the thumb. Switches, and then right here it goes to the tops. It's a matter of, do we write in a melody here like we have it here? I just think I don't want it to be. Thank you, Naya. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just don't want it to be too overemphasized. You know, if we write it in S. You know, that's not how. It should be more of a sweeping motion. So the one thing we could also do is we could get rid of these slurs and do just one overarching. I think this might be the best option. Because if we write in this melody, people are going to bring it out too much, right? Specifically this. Also, for anybody who's just joining, what we're doing is engraving, which is the process of making a score look nice and look playable, and yeah, making sure there's no collisions. You know, we've written all this music. It's a piece called Nocturne that I wrote a few years ago, and we're polishing it to get it looking perfect to be able to upload it and share it with everyone. But before we can do that, and also there will be audio too. It's not just going to be this sheet music, but before we can do that, we have to make it look nice. And part of that is decisions like these, you know, of here's this phrase, how do we want to show it to the performer? You know, how do we want to tell them to play it? You know, and here we have this figuration in the right hand right here, this and how much do we want to micromanage these top notes? You can bring them out a little bit, but not too much. That's basically where we're at. And I think that's not what we want to do. I think something like this is much nicer. Problem is we're coming from a section where we did micromanage the melody. We said the thumb gets the melody here. And we did that with these dotted quarter notes, you know, another voice basically. But it's kind of nice in a way because this 9/8 bar right here. Looking at this, it is dense. You know, there is the second voice here, right? But then it's nice that we have. Trudy, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. it's just about, yeah, it's about how we want to notate this. And I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but it's important. So I think there's something to complicated, and then right here, it just becomes this free-flowing, right? It's just a texture. And the only change really is the A to B here, right? We have this kind of, it's really just a texture. So I think I like this better. Yeah, I mean, we have 4 different ways of writing this. So the same passage happens a little later. So we have it with no second voice at all right here. We have with the second voice written in with 2 notes each, right? Over here, same thing, 2 notes each, a different key. And then here we have just 1 note written in, right? Instead of, I think I just like this. I think I like this best. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the voices of both these measures, change voices. We're going to get rid of this second voice, goodbye. Oops. Getting rid of that. Bye, goodbye. Nice. So, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, because it's going to be obvious, you know, what we want to accomplish from this. Okay, so let's do the same thing with this. Voices. There's another way we could have done it, right? It's just so we could do them all like this, right? Where each of them has its own slur. But then you lose the, like, you know, I mean, the whole idea is here with A at the top, right? And I kind of want to show that A lasts these 2 measures, and boom, suddenly we have this B, and it's this kind of cloud parting moment of a beat. So I think let's try that. Something like that. So once again, from this 9/8 measure. Sorry. Let me get back into the next section. I'm going to leave it like this. I'll leave it like this for now. I think this is the, you know, you know, music is how it sounds, but it's also how it looks. And here we're coming from this really nice section with these, you know, this melody in the thumbs. And here we see dolce, sweet, right? And there's something nice about this very plain looking. There's not a lot going on. It's just 1 voice and another voice on the left hand. Plain, sweet, and it's very long slurs. I think it's kind of nice. So let's continue this here. Removing these voices. Goodbye. Yeah, so we're going to exchange the voices here again. Okay, one giant slur. Once again. Here, same thing, getting rid of this top voice. Okay, the only thing about this measure is that this right here, down here, begins the next section. So we're getting rid of these stems or slurs. We're going to slur these, and then I think we have to break beam here. So hold on. Wait, how do you do this? Not the nicest looking, but the whole point is this is the next, it leads into the next phrase, right? If we can connect this. I'm gonna try something for a second. I wonder how it would look if we connected these. How does that look to you guys? Is this weird? Just trying something here. I don't know if this could be totally wrong. Right, it looks very confusing. Very confusing. I think this is not right. It's one thing if we're accenting down here. I think we'd have a better argument, but I think this looks horrible. So better not here. Yeah, I just think we need to keep the kind of rhythm straight, Like I don't like having the slur finish on like in the middle of a grouping of eighth notes like this. Like I'd love for it to be like these by themselves, but it just gets confusing. We lose the meter. The meter of this is 6/8, right? So we have one big group of 3 and then another group of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here, if I'm reading this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like it's just confusing. We want one group of 3 and then another, so big blob, second big blob. So I think we gotta leave that. Yeah, I think we just gotta go with this. I think that's fine. Looks fine. This is so much cleaner too. I think this was the right call because yeah, we have now it's just there's not a tons of clutter here. It's just one big phrase, and then you notice the A turns to a B, and it's just this nice progression. Okay. Okay, see these got messed up again, so let's just make sure these are good to go again. Hopefully it's not too much time. Okay. Cool. So once again, we got page 4 looking great. Okay. I don't know what is going on here. What is this? Okay, so what do we want to figure out? I wanted to figure out here. So that same pattern comes back, right? And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to get rid of this. Flip this. Get rid of voice 2. Goodbye. Goodbye. This again. Voice 2. Great. Okay, so here, very nice. So they are grouped by 5 already, but this slur just shows us it's one long sweeping motion, right? Okay, so same thing, we're gonna get rid of these. Goodbye. We're gonna use second voices, slurs. Like it's interesting because the slur is kind of redundant because we have, like, yes, we do want to play legato, but they're already grouped in 5. So this longer slur to me is more effective and more justified because it's saying play legato, and then the groupings of how to play it are in the beaming. Beaming says there's 5 notes per thing, right? So group it by 5. So okay, we're gonna get rid of this. Very nice. So the same thing here. We're in D major, but it's gonna go. So we're gonna notice the E, E, E change to an F sharp. Right, so on the real piano, We're getting into that part in a second. We're just finishing up the B section. It's the end of the B section. Okay, so that looks perfect. Here again, so it's interesting because here we kind of had this already with the no voice, you know, the no second voice. So here we're going to group these by 2. Same thing here, group these by 2. 2 groups of 5, you know. Same thing here, we're going to group these by 4. Here we can group these by 2 groups of 5. Great, and then here this can be its own thing leading into the theme again. Okay, and now that we have that figured out, we can organize this a bit better. So I like that there's 5 measures per system in this one. That's very nice. I think if we add another one, it's going to get too complicated for this system. Yeah, it's just too dense, right? So here's something where we could leave it like this, but it's just not, it's just ugly, right? So we can leave that as is. It's already a dense page. Here, can we fit another system? Do we want to? Too dense, right? These notes are too close together. Forget it. Here. There's an argument for this. Might work. Maybe we could just I like when it's a bit denser because I don't know, it just takes up less space, you know, in the whole. Oh, interesting. See, we can have the whole B section take up less space. See, this is kind of what I want to see. You know, here we can't really get around it, I don't think, because I mean, what if we did this? Yeah, here we can't get around it because these are some big. There's a lot going on here, right? Slurs, so it's not going to, you know, compress as many systems. But for this B section, there's not a lot, you know, of slurs and stuff going on. See it compared to this, so we can compress, and I like that because it saves paper. So, let's see. Oh, great. See, these I don't think were affected because we have this locked in a line here. This is looking good, though. This is looking fine. Okay, so great. 5 systems per page here, same thing. Okay, so let's work with that. This is great. I want it to take up less space in general. See, here we have to have only four lines, right? 4 systems, because it's just it's very dense. There's a lot going on. See, there's 16th notes, there's different slurs and all that stuff, so we can't fit that many systems. here it gets less dense and kind of more nimble is the word I would use. So the only thing I'm thinking of is, I mean, I guess we can put a page break here to lock it. All right, let's arrange these. Cool. Not, not like perfect because, yeah, I just feel like it could be a bit more elegant here for some reason. I just feel like, but I think it's good because this way we can show the melody. I don't like doing this, like these kinds of lines. I feel like they're not used enough in music to really show the melody. Versus slurs, which are used all the time. Okay, one more. Oops. Great. Okay, and I'm going to save really quick. One thing we did last time is we split up this left hand, and I think that was a good idea because this is how you play it. You play it with your thumb on this note. It's kind of the climax of this whole B section. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, these lines, I think they look as good as they possibly can. It's just kind of weird. They're different angles, but I think that's just how we have to have it. What about... Will this fit down here now? Oops. We put this crescendo and accelerando at the top here because it wouldn't fit underneath. Yeah, see? This is something where I could easily put it out like this. It's not nice. It's not, doesn't look good. trying to think of just this left hand being grouped like this. I'm just trying to think how I play it. So from the hot tempo agitato. AJ, welcome AJ. How's it going? Welcome to the late night engraving stream. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. This is looking good. I think we can move on. I mean, to the next page because I think this is good. Okay, we're back on 5, but it's good because, yeah. I want the thing is I want the piece to take up as few pages as we can. So wherever it can squish 5 systems, I think that's fine. And see, this looks really nice to me. Nothing's too squished. This is fine if it's squished. Get this. That. So things like this, I would love to be able to separate this, right? Not worth it. Like, just to show that this is leading into the next thing. But yeah, it's fine. So now it's interesting because earlier in this B section we don't have the slurs on the left hand, and we do later right here. So the OCD part in me is like, we either have them on all of them, right, which just clutters it up, or we could do all of them, or we do have them on all of them here. Here is kind of like the beginning. Yeah, it's tricky. Oh, engraving is so difficult. When you look at any piano piece, right? You just think of it as the composer's words, whatever, like the composer's notes. But there's so much thought that goes into how to present music. Makes it so difficult. I mean, if you don't put a slur over these notes down here, the piano is not going to play like this. But you hear some kind of like. There's something that's not connected. So, Yeah, I might pause on this because could bring back the slurs here. And I'm looking earlier, like we should have been done with this page. The thing is, at the beginning we were at sempre legato, meaning, you know, stay connected through the whole piece, which is why I initially didn't have anything on here. I think I'm going to keep it that way. Just, I don't know if it looks nicer. I'm gonna leave them off. I'm gonna leave it off because the melody is here, and I think that's the focus. But here we need to make a decision because we can't have. I mean, I don't think we can have this not be slurred and then suddenly have a slur here. I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is the proper way to, you might have to have two separate groupings, but yeah, I feel like I've got to slur it a different way, depending on. Like this probably should be two different slurs. Slur, slur. Right? Which is not. Like it should be one. I'm gonna think about that. We might leave it there and just pick it back up tomorrow. Yeah, it's very tricky. You know, what to connect, what to bring out, right? We made a big decision about this section. You know, these sections we removed, we simplified, which is, you know, tough sometimes for me. We got rid of the second voice here and just made it one voice. And yeah, I think it just looks nicer. So that was a big change. Let's see, we condensed page 4. We still got a ways to go. Still got a ways to go. Oh, it's only 8 pages now. Okay. So see, again, all this stuff, like it, you can still tell it's nice, but I just want it to look perfect. So whether that's, you know, but it looks, the first four pages look awesome. Like they're really condensed, very tight. The slurring is great. And so if we can just get that for these last pages, I think we'll be in good shape. Just a reminder, so the goal of this is to bring this piece called Nocturne onto my website. So my website is andrewkierszenbaum.com. If you go to sheet music, you can see piano pieces of mine that I wrote, and I have tons more. And so my goal is to publish these, get them in one place on my website. Right now, they're scattered all over the place. Some are on my hard drive, never been released, you know. Some are on MuseScore, this site that hosts sheet music like this. I want them in one place, you know. If you want to hear my newest piece that I wrote for my girlfriend back in June, you can click on this prelude, right? You can listen to it on harp. Just have everything in one place. In case you missed it, I put out a song today called After We're Done. Really proud of this one. I sing on it, and it's a kind of down-tempo pop song about breakups and blocking people, and so it's a fun one. So check it out. I don't know, does it let us preview it?
You drove me all over Palm Springs. Oh, never call, never come back to my door to know. After we're done, it's like I never wanna see you at all.
So I'm also really proud of this one because it, to me, is a piano piece in disguise. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan. I love, writing songs like that where the piano part can kind of almost stand on its own as this kind of identifiable element. Anyways, if you haven't checked out After We're Done, just came out today. 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. Drop me a comment. Send me a DM. But yeah, I just got back from Pittsburgh, where we performed the world premiere of the music of Arcane with the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. Unbelievably surreal. As one of the composers of Arcane, I presented and performed the music with the orchestra in the background, myself on piano, and that was a super surreal time. I'm still in shock from it. So in case you missed it, I think, what is this? Is this linked to my Instagram? Okay. Yeah, so you can go check it out. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for hanging out, for listening, for vibing in our little meditative engraving session. So yeah, this has been super fun. Go follow me on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram, and I will see you guys live soon. If you haven't followed me to know when I go live, I still have a consistent schedule, so follow me to know when I go live, and I will see you next time. Have a good night if you're like me in the middle of the night,